comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? I'm DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady.
And in today's video, we are going to be making our WonderCon 2022 Funko predictions. But before that happens, make sure you press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys,
let's check it out.
So like we said in today's video, we are going to be making our WonderCon 2022 predictions. Now for this predictions list, we have a total of, I think, 6 predictions each, in which they are a mix of both Funko Pops and Funko Sodas, since WonderCon is known for having Pops and a lot of sodas as terms to these Comic-Con exclusives. So without further ado, we will kick off with MD Shady's portion of his predictions for WonderCon exclusive predictions.
So we will be starting off with my predictions first, like we normally do. And WonderCon 2022, hopefully we will see a lot of awesome stuff. I do only have one soda on my list, and I guess I will start with that. And I think it will be, or I at least hope it will be, the Goblin King from the Labyrinth. I think this would be awesome. I really do love the Labyrinth, and David Bowie's amazing as well. So obviously you have your common soda, and that would be the Goblin King in his like brown kind of normal attire that you see throughout most of the movie. And then I think the chase would have to be the white attire, and why not make it glittered, because we did have the, what is it, Think Geek I believe it is? Yeah, Think Geek exclusive where it is glitter and it is the white attire. Why not make that the chase for the soda? Moving on to Pops, I had to add a Pop from Encanto, and that is a version of Mirabelle when she's younger that you see in the like beginning of the movie, where she's wearing, I believe it's like a pink dress and there might be like a bow tie in her hair. I think that that'd be a cool exclusive because it's a character that we already have a Pop of, but it's like a different version of her, because really with the movie Encanto, there's kind of just these characters, that's how they are. There's not a whole lot you can do with them besides doing something like that, a young version of Mirabelle. Next up on my prediction list, I have 2 Pokemon Pops, because we usually do see 2-ish Pokemon Pops per con. So this year I have Charizard and Horsey, and obviously you guys know what Funko likes to do. They like to kind of give a specification to these Pops. I think it'll be a little bit different this year, and I think they're going to go with the route of being glow in the dark. And I don't know how they're going to do this. Obviously, with a Charizard, they could just do the tail where the fire is. They could do that glow in the dark. But I also think it'd be pretty cool if the whole orange of the body was glow in the dark. And then obviously there's no real reason for Horsey to be glow in the dark, but it was from the same wave. We haven't seen a new version of Horsey, like a specification one. So I think a glow in the dark Horsey would look pretty cool. If the glow on the blue could look really good, I think that glow in the dark Pokemon Pops would be a hit. And I think that they would end up looking pretty decent. In the last 2 WonderCons, we have seen some Artist Series Pops, and they have been pretty much like the Futura or the art series for Star Wars. So I figured I would add a Star Wars character, and I'm going to keep it with the theme that they've kind of had going on. They had the Stormtrooper, they had the Boba Fett, and I think that this year is going to be the Mandalorian. So an art series Mandalorian I think would be really cool. I think a lot of people would like that. Though I'm not a big fan of the art series, I think if they could do this one right, it would be great. Next up, I have a Pop for the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s. A new Pop to add to that short, small wave that we got, which I think could be expanded huge, and I think that Venom would be an awesome Pop to see for this. I mean, Venom in the animated series is kind of like a blue hue. Obviously he's black. He has like the blue hue on the sides of him, sometimes even red depending on what light he's standing in. So I think it works for WonderCon because it is kind of like a blue kind of background that we always see with WonderCon. So I think that Venom for the Spider-Man animated series would be a great Pop, and hopefully they do keep continuing Pops in this line. And then lastly, I have a 2-pack of Pops, and it is more Disney Pops actually. I think that we will probably see a few Disney things. We usually do see at least a couple of Disney things for WonderCon. So the 2-pack that I have is for the Emperor's New Groove, and that is Pacha's kids, which are Tipo, I think his name is, and Chaka, I believe. Tipo and Chaka, I believe, are the 2 kids. I think that this would be great. It would have to be a 2-pack because I feel like they'd make them kind of smaller, like Pokemon Pops, or like, let's say with the mini puffed Pops, they are smaller. So I think that they would do it that way, and then why not put it in a 2-pack rather than last year, I think it was, we seen the Yzma and the Kronk. They were singular pops, but I think a 2-pack makes sense for this, and hopefully this does happen, and I would pick that up in a heartbeat.
Alright, so now I'm going to be making my WonderCon 2022 predictions list for Funko exclusives, which I do have essentially half of mine being sodas and half of mine being pops. So the very first prediction I have is a Funko soda, and I went with an ad icon Funko soda. And this year I went the route of Mimic the Monkey from the Pez lineup. I went with a really obscure ad icon realistically because we predicted in the past, like, some of the main ad icon characters, like, let's say, a Tony the Tiger, or, let's say, Lucky the Leprechaun, but I feel like with those kind of characters, they've been making them as commons, especially with the release of the Lucky the Leprechaun soda that's coming out. Now, this Mimic the Monkey soda I have listed would be limited to 6,000 pieces, and the common version would be exactly the way that the common Funko Pop is, where I'm pretty sure it's kind of like that turquoise skin color, plus the outfit I think is like black and orange, I believe. And then the Chase variant would be how they made the New York Comic-Con 2019, I believe, or 2020 Funko Pop, where it is the green skin with the red and yellow outfit. I think that's how the common and Chase would be, where it's not a specification change, it is simply a color change. My next prediction is now a Funko Pop, in which I had chosen an Artist Series Mandalorian Pop. The reason I went with this is because the last 2 years for WonderCon, we have seen Star Wars Pops, and they've went down the route of either Futura or the Artist Series lineup. We've seen the Boba Fett, I believe, in 2020 with like the red and the black going on. And then last year we had the gold and black Stormtrooper. So instead of going, let's say, Boba Fett again because of the recent ending of the Book of Boba Fett, I thought that now they would go with a different, I guess, trooper, I would say, and that would obviously be the Mandalorian. I don't exactly know what the colors would be yet, but I just know it would be an Artist Series Pop. The next prediction I have is a Funko Pop, and it's for the Lilo and Stitch lineup, and it is Pleakley. The reason I went with this character is because in 2022, it will actually be the 20th anniversary of Lilo and Stitch, and of course I feel like because Funko already produces so many, I guess you can say, Stitches for Lilo and Stitch, that this year would be the year that Funko finally pulls the trigger per se and essentially does more than just a bunch of different Stitches. And I think Pleakley would be an awesome character to make as a Comic-Con exclusive, or even maybe a regular exclusive, but I think they would go down the route of a Comic-Con exclusive. The next item I am predicting here is a Funko soda, and it is of Doctor Strange. I'm surprised that they haven't even made a Doctor Strange Funko soda yet.
Alright, so hear me out. We recorded this video during day 1 of Funko Fair reveals, and little did I know for day 2, they would actually announce a classic Doctor Strange Funko soda. So obviously I would get this prediction wrong, but just hear my reasoning for how I thought this was going to be a WonderCon exclusive.
And I think this would be a perfect timing because of the upcoming release of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. WonderCon is happening in the first weekend of April, and I believe the movie is coming out in May, and it also makes sense because last year they did a Funko soda of Black Widow, which the soda came out in April and then the movie came out in May. So I think they're going down that route with Doctor Strange. Now, I have this limited to, I believe it is 15,000? Yes, 15,000 pieces. The common would be whatever Doctor Strange looks like in the Multiverse of Madness movie. And I'm just going to say for the heck of it, because I actually haven't seen the trailer yet and I don't really know what's going on, that the specification Chase would be a glow-in-the-dark Chase, because I definitely think that makes sense. The next prediction I have is another Funko soda. It's actually going to be the last Funko soda I mentioned on this list, and it is Scientist Yzma from Emperor's New Groove. Now, last year at WonderCon, we had the Funko Pops of Scientist Yzma and Scientist Kronk, and I feel like during WonderCon, if they make a pop for 1 year, they'll make a soda the next year, or they do vice versa. So I feel like in this case, because they did the Funko Pops last year, that they'll make the Funko sodas this year. And for the sake of the predictions list, I didn't put Kronk, but I wouldn't be surprised if they released both Yzma and Kronk, the scientist outfits, in soda form. Release them as, I think I've listed 10,000 pieces, and I wouldn't actually know what the chases would be, because it's kind of hard to figure out with the chase. I don't know if they do glow in the dark or maybe they just do a metallic outfit. And the last prediction I have are 2 Funko Pops, and they're from an obvious lineup that gets Funko Pops for Comic-Con exclusives every year, and that is the Pokemon lineup. And normally Funko likes to do specifications for Comic-Con exclusives. We've seen Flocked in 2020, we've seen Diamond Collection in 2021, and in a perfect world, I would like to see glow in the dark for the specification, but for some reason, I think they will go down the route of metallic, and I'm talking about normal metallic. And the pops I had chosen were Charmander and Charizard. First off, usually there is always a starter Pokemon in each of these waves. I know especially with the first time they did the waves of Comic-Con exclusives, we had Charmander and Bulbasaur, I believe, that were flocked, but I think they'll do it for WonderCon this year, and it'll be in a metallic form. And Charizard definitely makes sense, release at the same time as Charmander, because they are from the same evolutionary line. And the reason I chose Charizard in this case is because I've noticed that Funko kind of really skipped over a lot of the waves from 2021, and really the last set from the 2020 waves that we had gotten in the Diamond Collection form of the Comic-Con was the Evolution waves, where you had Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon with that Eevee involved, and they made those Diamond Collection, but they completely skipped over the waves of, like, the one with Mew and Ponyta, and then they skipped over the wave with Psyduck and Meowth, and then they went straight to the wave that had Charizard because they released that version of Pikachu for a Festival of Fun exclusive. So now I feel like they're just going to that wave instead of kind of going back and maybe doing a Mew pop or let's say a Meowth pop that could be a specification. So I feel like that's the reason why I think they will do Charizard instead of doing the other Pokemons, because Funko has been known for essentially skipping some Pokemon pops from some of these waves to go on to different ones. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's video on our WonderCon 2022 predictions, make sure you smash that like button, comment in the comment section below, and let us know who had the better predictions list. Was it myself or was it MD Shady? And let us know your predictions for WonderCon 2022 exclusive pops and or sodas. And like we said earlier, press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching today's video, and hope to see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
Peace in, peace out.
Follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Popcast. If you want to check out some of our other content that's featured on our channel, you can click either the playlist that's on your screen right now featuring previous episodes of our weekly podcast, A Funko Popcast, or we have suggested a video for you guys in relation to today's video.